at the bottom of page 101, bottom of 101. We're going to begin with the words of the prophet Isaiah, using his words as inspiration and aspiration. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, and they should not even learn war anymore. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Now the high part. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Now choose whichever part you want. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And before we light our Shabbat candles, just a few words. So this Shabbat marks the big revelation when we, as legend says, every one of us, stood with our biblical ancestors at Mount Sinai. And of course, we have to widen that circle a little bit because the women were not included back in that day, but for now, let's just assume we were all there. As the mountain trembled and smoked and thunder blared as the Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 Commandments, were spoken. And tradition tells us that these commandments were spoken in dozens, countless kinds of languages, so that every person was able to hear them in the way that was most resonant for them. So in my imaginings, I've imagined that some folks heard soft, jazzy sounds. That's what I would prefer. And others heard the commandments through the trumpet's blare. And maybe others heard the sound through their grandmother's voice or through the sound of their child's laughter. But however it happened, these commandments, which we mark up here, had a huge influence for the rest of time, into our time. And in almost every synagogue and in many churches, you will see this representation. And they used to be in public squares as well. So the drama of this moment in the Torah is a little overwhelming. I prefer quieter revelation myself. Maybe some of you raise your hand. Are you, when you want to hear a concert, do you like the big arenas? Like the big, or do you prefer like a little, like Pessim, little folk club, little jazz club? Yeah, yeah. I think we're a bunch of introverts here. So we'll be hearing more about this revelation, about the giving of these 10 utterances. They were given in sound, which is also a wild thing to think about. And Rabbi Cari will be joining us via Zoom in just a little bit because she had COVID running through her household. And though she doesn't have it herself, she is sparing us the exposure to it. So what is most fascinating to me as I prepared this week thinking about Yitro and about the Ten Commandments is that in the nature of revelation, of being given wisdom, and how the human spirit contends with change and responsibility, it is striking that this Torah portion is not called the giving of the Ten Commandments or something grand like that. It's called Yitro, who is Moses' father-in-law. It's the name Yitro. It gets translated into English as Jethro often. And Yitro was a non-Jewish Midianite prophet, evidently very powerful, similar to Moses. And he comes to visit Moses at the very beginning of this portion. And the first thing he does is he listens to Moses. He hasn't seen him since Moses left Midian when he was a shepherd, having escaped Egypt. And Moses tells him about the plagues, about the Pharaoh, about the escape into the sea. And Yitro takes all of this in quietly, respectfully. And then he observes Moses, and he sees all that Moses is doing, and he sees him taking care of the Israelites night and day, and he sees how overwhelmed Moses is, and he gently suggests some changes that could help Moses, encouraging him to get some help. And Moses does exactly as he says. And I believe that it is no coincidence, no mistake, that Yitro begins quietly this Torah portion about this loud revelation. It is his quiet listening, his respectful way of being, the way he takes time to truly listen to Moses, that allows Moses to receive his wisdom. And so tonight, this Shabbat service is dedicated to our own personal revelation, to listening in to the voices in our own lives, to listen in for the transformations we may be seeking, to the sounds of the gentleness of strong friendships, to the course corrections we may need, to taking stock, and trusting in the wisdom that comes our way, whether it be via loud brass instruments or a whisper in the wind or in the ancient liturgy we share, or in the wisdom in our own hearts. May we all find tonight at least the beginnings of the direction we're seeking as we gather together once again at the foot of the mountain, one strong community. And so we begin our service by adding more light, by celebrating Shabbat with the kindling of the flame of the Shabbat candles. And Neil and Mindy, we're so honored to call you up to light our candles. You'll find the blessing on page 1 at the top of the page. And with that deep Shabbos breath, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlek ner shel Shabbat. Thank you, you guys. page 2, song number 2. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Because I feel like this Torah portion is such a time wormhole or so, like a vortex shifter. Were we all there together? Maybe we were. That's why this community feels so close and so like family. And it makes me think sometimes. I do a little time traveling in my own mind. Sometimes I think, if I was at the very end of my life right now and imagining myself here tonight and taking in all this goodness that we are, I think this is the energy that I'm thinking right now when I think Ma Yafeh Hayom. What a beautiful day this is that we can be here together in this peace. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Together we will sing the world awake, bringing light to the dark places, and let the shadows dance once more. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for those who embrace it, and song is a chariot to both. The top of page 7, 4 lines down from the top. Or Zarua. We create our own light. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Tzadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Tzadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Tzadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Tzadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Tzadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Tzadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Tzadik, U Yishrei Lev Simcha.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Oh, you sound incredible, and I so miss being there with you all. But as Beth said, we have COVID at home, and I would rather not bring it to our beloved community. And so, thank you, and thank you to our tech team and everybody who enables me to be with you on this night, on this Shabbat night. You know, as Beth said, we are in the parsha where revelation, the big revelation, not a quiet one, as she so eloquently stated, is taught, and it has been a week in which this revelation has invited questions and things for us to consider, because it's so easy to take this story for granted, to assume we know what it teaches. And so I want to thank in particular Rabbi Hilly Haber this week for inspiring the teachings that I'm going to be sharing with you this week. I got a call from a friend whose job has recently shifted. And initially, the shift seemed like it was really just more of an extension of the work he was already doing. But in the last 6 months, he has realized that there are facets and aspects of his job that he never expected and doesn't quite know what to do with. And as a result, he's had some really hard times. And he called me and he said something that is a sentence I have definitely asked, and I would imagine most have asked at some point or another. He said, "Who am I to be doing this? Who am I?" he asked. He was struggling with his sense of authenticity, with the authority to do the work. And he was struggling as a result with his sense of self. It was a kind of question that I made sense at the professional level, and is often something I hear Jews ask, often when they're asked to represent or teach about Judaism, either to themselves within their family or to the larger world, when they're asked to explain something. And I often get calls and emails that says, "Who am I to be teaching on this?" And it seems in some way that that's the heart of the question in Exodus 19. This big revelation, this chaotic story of receiving the Torah. And it is chaotic. I don't remember how many languages Beth said were taught there, but a lot of noise. Moses coming and going between the mountain and the people. If you read the text, it's contradictory. He's up when he's down when he's up. The people agree to things that they don't know what they're agreeing to. There's toing and froing, and it's really just a noisy, chaotic scene, which makes sense, because how can you really describe that which is beyond description? Well, Exodus 19 is our ancient tradition's attempt. And while there is chaos in the scene, there are also certain persistent themes repeated and returned to over and over and over again. And these are the themes that I'd like to share with our community, with you all here tonight. Biblical scholar Nahum Sarna talks about the radically democratic revelation at Sinai. The idea that the giving of Torah was direct, it was public, and it was communal. All Israel, according to Sarna, witnessed the phenomenon of God speaking from heaven. Now, as Beth pointed out, the question of who all is and who counted as Israel is a definition that has shifted, but still there was an idea even in the ancient world that the giving of Torah was as inclusive a situation as could have been imagined. It's as if the text wants to teach that the tradition, that its wisdom is meant to be accessible. It's meant for everyone, not just Moses or a small elite. And it is this foundational idea in Exodus that leads to the teaching in Midrash Shemot Rabbah that the souls of every Jewish person, ever born across all time, as Beth called it, a wormhole of time, that all of those souls were present at the time of revelation, at the moment of revelation. This is not meant to be considered a tradition that was given in the past to a generation that has long since gone, but rather a tradition given to each of us directly. It's easy to idealize or hold up past generations of Jewish communities to think that they knew Judaism better than we did. But as long ago as 2,000 years, the tradition was teaching against that idea. It was teaching that each of us has the same access that they did. And from this idea that each of us was present, which is founded on the idea that the giving of Torah was meant for all, the Kotzker Rebbe, a Hasidic teacher, teaches a beautiful piece of wisdom about our sense of authenticity and authority within this tradition. He teaches that it is not just that each of us was present back then at Sinai, but rather that revelation is ongoing, that we continue to receive Torah throughout our lives. It's as if he understood that it's sometimes hard to believe that we have the same access they did. And so instead, the Rebbe invites us to consider or acknowledge that, yes, what we are offering to our tradition, to our way of living, may be new, but that newness is no less valuable, no less meaningful than what came before. As a community, we are in the habit of turning to ancient words of prayer and wisdom week in and week out. We are invited to receive, to take from that life-giving tradition. Perhaps in this week of Parshat Yitro, in the week in which we read about Revelation, the giving of Torah, we are also invited to see how each of us brings something unique and meaningful to our community and our tradition. Perhaps this week, when we hear the voice asking, "Who am I?" we are invited to know that we are a piece of revelation and that what we offer is holy. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you for that, Rabbi Cari. And we continue page 11. Come, friends, let us welcome this wholeness, this peace. L'chadodi. L'chadodi. Likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hish mi'anu el hamnucha Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litila lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor habaracha merosh mikadem nesucha sof ma'aseh v'machshava techila lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela hitoreri kiva orech kumi ori shir daberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha uv'sahola toch emuneh am segula bo'i chala lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lechadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. We remain standing, turning to the Chatzi Kaddish on page 15. Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Ba'alma divarach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, ve'imeru, amen. Yehesh meraba mevarach, la'alam ul alme almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, ve'yishtabach, ve'yitpa'ar, ve'yitromam, ve'yitnaseh, ve'yithadar, ve'yit'aleh, ve'yithalal, shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma, ve'imeru, amen. Page 16, far right-hand column. I imagine during the week in between Shabbat, how the world spins and spins and spins and sometimes takes us so far away from the best hope of ourselves. And on these Friday nights, we're able to take those broken pieces, all those shards of light, and begin to put them together again, finding our way home, accompanying each other into this light that we create. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When we call on the light of our souls, we are home. And calling on the oneness that connects us all. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam va'ed. Please be seated. An alternative Ve'ahavta tonight by Rabbi Rami Shapiro. Having heard the one, I know myself commanded. Love the source of life with fullness of mind, body, heart, and soul. Feel freely and act wisely. Be in the world with purpose and presence. Set wisdom upon my heart and share her with all who wish to learn. Model truth for the children, that they shall see in me a friend and guide. Glove my hands with compassion and see that all my deeds are just. Open my eyes to the truth and let my vision be daring and true. Set mezuzot upon the doorposts of my house and upon my gates, that my going out and my coming in shall be for peace. Page 21, Micha Mocha, Song of the Sea that we celebrated last Shabbat. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora teilot osef pele, Nora teilot osef pele, Yalai, yalalai, yalai, lalai, yalai, yalalai, yalai, la la ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora teilot osef pele, Nora teilot osef pele, ya la 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 ya la la ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la ya la la ya la la la. Hashkivenu is the last of the blessings of the Shema. And tonight we'll do the setting, Oh, guide my steps. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Let's put it together. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. It again. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Oh, guide my steps. Oh, guide my steps. So I was imagining tonight that we could enact what it would be like to stand together hearing these utterances. There's a tradition of standing as the Ten Commandments are read. And what I imagine is that tonight we'll do the interpretation by Rabbi Yael Levy. We've done this before. I love her interpretation of the Ten Commandments. We've heard these all our lives, and sometimes we need, what is it, like something to wake us up to what they, like to the inside meaning of it. And this is her inside meaning. And even if you wanted to, this Shabbat even, to look at those traditional Ten Commandments, think about what you would add. You know, if you were the one uttering these, what would you like to add to the list we have? And all the other 601 commandments, 603. Yeah, boy, that math is always so hard for me. Thank you. What she does in this interpretation is also remind us that we were standing there with all kinds of people that came with us from Egypt. The Torah calls it the riffraff, the whole multitude, the multitudes who came with us. We were a mixed multitude who came forth together. So she says, this week, as we gather with our ancestors in the wilderness of Sinai, much is revealed even before we stand at the mountain. Camped together, we are shown that we are in relationship with people of all different religious and cultural traditions. We learn from each other, we share our wisdom and our struggles, and we walk our paths for the sake of each other. We are also taught that Earth herself is holy, and her seasons and offerings are our abiding guides. So now we imagine. It is before dawn when we stand at the mountain. Thunder and lightning fill the sky. A dense cloud appears. Flames cover the mountains. Covers the mountain. The earth trembles. A shofar wails. And then there is silence. A silence so full there is nothing else. In the silence, all creation disappears, and there is only one. No distinction, no other, only one. Then the wind returns. We are back at the mountain amid fire and smoke and our trembling hearts. And we hear something that will help us remember that beyond all distinction, beyond our uniqueness, our differences, is the one. We hear something that will help us remember that we are responsible for and to each other, and we are here to live in reverent relationship with all beings, with all life. Tonight we'll do a silent Amidah after we speak together these Aseret Hadibrot, these 10 utterings. We'll do our 6 words, Adonai Sifatai Tiftach, and then I invite you to reflect on all of this for a silent Amidah. So we stand in body or in spirit. Elohim spoke these words, saying, I am Yud He Vav He, the continual unfolding of all. I am the force of transformation, the energy of liberation. Do not seek to arrest me in motion or create me with your own hands. Do not give yourself to false gods. Be with uncertainty. Allow mystery. Do not lift up my essence for lies and deceit. Do not use my name to justify destruction. Remember Shabbat and keep it holy. Stop. Pause. Be. Honor creation, rest, and allow others to rest as well. Honor your parents. Honor those upon whose shoulders you stand. Do not murder. Do not betray. Honor each other's vulnerabilities. Have reverence for intimacy. Do not steal. Do not lie. Do not use words to hate or destroy. And perhaps the culmination of following all of these, the final, the 10th one, do not be led astray by comparing yourself to others. Do not get lost in desiring what others have. Be content. Be fulfilled with what your life brings. May these ancient calls guide us in becoming beings that bring mending and healing to this fractured and precious world. Page 25, and then into a silent Amidah. Sefatai tivtach ufi yagid tehilatecha Adonai Sefatai tivtach ufi yagid tehilatecha Adonai, tivtach ufi yagid tehilatecha Adonai, tivtach ufi yagid tehilatecha Throughout the ages, throughout each day, we seek the reflections of your wonders and your goodness as we make our way in the world. For all of these, we give thanks. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. We thank you, God, for all these things. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. We thank you, God, for all these things. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. We thank you, God, for all these things. Modim anachnu We turn our attention now to our prayer for the hostages. This prayer written so many centuries ago in a totally different time, expressing our anguish for the pain suffered by the families, for the pain suffered by all who are living in Israel right now and beyond, for all of us, for the pain of all the lives lost in Gaza, Palestinian hostages as well, for all of the pain, the anguish since October 7th and before. These words capture, it's called Achenu in Hebrew. We are all family. Join together, our family, the whole house of Israel, who are in distress or in captivity, who stand either in the sea or on dry land. May the Omnipresent have mercy on them and take them out from trouble to blessing and from darkness to light and from oppression to redemption, now, swiftly, and soon. Been looking for something to do after reading that prayer because I just want to scream. Now, swiftly, and soon, it has not happened. And so we found last week, we introduced this last week, a prayer that was written by an Israeli, kind of a pop star in Israel. He wrote it, I believe, on October 12th. The words are very simple. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Blessed are you who frees the captive. We say this every morning as part of the Birchot HaShachar. And I feel like he turned our scream of anguish into beautiful music. And as I said last week, the song does not resolve. It doesn't return to the the tonic at all, and just praying that we will be able to sing this with that resolution when they are free and when this anguish is ending. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Atir Asurim Atir Asurim Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Atir Asurim Atir Asurim Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Atir Asurim Atir Asurim. We turn to page 130. Widening our healing lens to all who are in need of healing tonight in body, mind, spirit, mood. As a community, we are praying for the healing of Lois Marlin, Rick Alexander, Ruth Ginsburg, Karen Kaplan, Ken Doucette, Danny Brown, Diana Sanders, Ruth Rubin, Laura Bell, Bill Pollock, Tom Lemons, Irene Brown, Liliana Walheim Martinez, Peter Feynman, Pat Urich, Frank, Andy, Joyce, and Bert, Laureen Huckle, Annie Graham and her family, Nikki Reed, Angie Silver, Sarah Kianowski, Ayelet Gal Bat Chava V'Her Shmuel, Stanley Roth, Debbie Gilman, Neil Daniels Midman, Anya Kabel, Sue Boardman, and Kathy Nath. And for those of you who are joining us online, we invite you to add names into the chat. For those of you who are here, if you would raise your hand, it would be an honor to call upon you. Sue.
Catherine Schwartz, Joseph, Kathy Check, and the entire Macy family. Sarah. And Daphne, and Sherry, and
To my aunts and uncles and cousins who I paid very little attention to after
Mi sheberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel veLeah uYevarech v'yirapeh et hacholim Elna Rifana Elna Rifana la Elna Rifana Elna Rifana Mi sheberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel veLeah uYevarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. May that healing energy we create here go exactly where it is needed to all who are suffering, to all who need that cosmic healing attention. And we pray that an abundance of peace will spread out across this planet. Shalom Rav at the bottom of page 30. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. I feel like we go through so much in an hour service, like so many emotions. Is everyone doing okay? I feel like, whew, we've done a lot. We've gone through Revelation and all the woes of our world right now. Whew, and it's already time we start to conclude our service already. Moving right into Kaddish, to Mourner's Kaddish, page 44. And learned from two of our temple members just today about the passing, about the death of a very beloved person named Peter Meltzer, who died on January 25th, and we send our condolences to those who knew him. And also tonight, of course, we think of all of those who have died in the violence in Israel and Gaza and all around the world this week. In this time of Shloshim, the 30 days, we are thinking of Betsy Schroyer, wife of Gary Klein, mother of Lydia, Rachel, and Josh Klein, and of Ray Glazer, Debbie Sharp's father, who died on January 16th in Wisconsin. And tonight's yortzites include Lois Lineal, whose name we have said for this entire year. And Lisa, we're so glad you and Bernie are here tonight as we remember her on her first yortzeit. We also remember Irv Lineal, Lisa's father, and Estelle Lineal, Lisa's aunt. It's also the yortzeit of Norma Kagan, Mark Kagan's beloved mother, and of Martin Nass, beloved father of Eric Nass. It's also the yortzeit of Philip Roth, beloved father of Audrey Roth. This is 39th yortzeit. And it is the yortzeit of Michael Baxter, dear friend of Heather Steckel. In this year of memory, we remember Eliza Stern Geyer, Caroline Hirschfeld, and Florence Foreman. And if there are yortzites that are being observed tonight, or those who are feeling especially close, please raise your hand. Chris.
My cousin Bob Lund.
My dear friend Michael Nicholson, who died a couple days ago from complications to AIDS. Grandfather Joseph Hackberg.
My grandmother Doris Womansky.
Sarah.
My aunt Darlene. All of these beloved names who have been spoken, those who we are carrying in our hearts tonight, we rise in body or in spirit, reciting these ancient words, becoming a community of memory. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hiruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing, and you may be seated. Just a few announcements. We have Tat Shabbat tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the 6 and under crowd and their parents. And there is Torah study at 10:30, both here in the library and on Zoom tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. There is no Torah on tap this Shabbat. On Sunday morning at 10 a.m., though the baking spots are currently filled, if you are interested in getting on the wait list for the Harvest Apple Challah Bake, or if you'd like to just come and watch, please get in touch with Amy Rubin, who is our intrepid chair of the Adult Social Committee. And at 5 p.m. on Sunday, we're having our Connections Progressive Potluck Dinner, which is still open. There's still room. The sign-up is in this week's Temple email There's a Google Doc to just sign up, and you can say what you're bringing or just come. And this is open to all people who identify as female and who are 13 years of age or older. And finally, there's a brand new adult ed learning opportunity that begins this Tuesday at 7 p.m. online and will be taught by Rabbi Neil Gold. The course is called The Stranger Among Us, Who is the Ger of the Torah. And it looks to be a very thought-provoking exploration on the meaning of community and our responsibility toward others from biblical times all the way to present moment. So that's Tuesday night at 7 p.m. online, and that will go for 4 Tuesday nights till the end of February. Any other announcements that need to be spoken right now? In this sunless week, I will just say that the last weekend of July is our Temple camping trip. And I don't think, Dan, registration's not open yet, is it? No, it's not open yet, but just in your mind, be thinking sunshine, the end of July, long days, sunny days. And that is at White Lake, what's it called again? White Lake State Park in, oh my God, I can't remember, where is it? Somewhere in New Hampshire. Tamworth, New Hampshire. Let us call those Shabbat angels in and let ourselves be blessed with peace as we do. Shalom Aleichem, page 49. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sechem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Is there somebody who would like to come up and lead Kiddush and Motzi, perhaps? Not so much? Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As we head down to Oneg, maybe even try to talk to someone you don't know so well tonight. Make an extra special effort to do so. Wonderful to be with you, all of you. Shabbat Shalom.